Okay.
Hi, I'm Karen Lehmiller, and I am here to talk to you about genetic engineering, and with a focus really on embryo planning. And I'm not an expert on the subject. Um, I just did research on it, and I'm going to share with you some of the facts that I found out. Now, can you imagine going into your doctor and saying that you want to have a boy, green eyes, black wavy hair, tall and athletic, just like you were passing an order through at Burger King? Because that is what genetic engineering is. And right now I'm going to focus on embryo planning, and that's just a little section of it. And in countries like China, in embryo planning, what it is you can plan whether you're going to have a boy or a girl 100% positively. They do it the way that they do in vitro fertilization. You know, they take the eggs out and then they fertilize them and then they put them back. But after 3 days, they take the cells off to see whether it's a male or a female. So that if you want a female, then they'll plant the female, but not the males. They've always had, in countries like China and India and places, that are very specific to want certain genders, I can understand why they would want to do that, because they are heavily pressured in China to have abortions if they have females. So in that kind of situation, what it was designed for really was when you're genetically together and not able to have children, to be able to find out why, and certain genetic things are passed around like in males. I think it's muscular dystrophy that's passed around, hereditary through males only, so, or different things that are passed around. So it was really designed to be a good wheel for research. But now as technology moves, they're wanting to move it to different things. Here, worldwide, they asked 200,000 people if they knew if they could pick their sex, if they would pick the sex of their child, and 40% said yes. So is this a good thing, though, that you get to pick your sex and you get to go through all this? There's a proponent, Dr. Erickson, they call him Dr. Sperm, and he's familiar with both sides. He says it's human rights and suggests this technology, so why not use it? He said he has actually created a kit that you can use at home, but he does the spinning where it said that the X chromosome, which is a female, is heavier than the male's chromosome, so they'll fall to the bottom, in sperm, and then males will start it, and they've been doing that for a while. But when they do when they do in vitro, it's not gender specific, so they're just going to put babies in. Now, not all doctors feel like this is ethical and should be used as a tendon. I'm going to give you a quote here from Dr. Charles Colson, and he is from Britain, actually. He said, some fear that genetic engineering will lead to eugenistics. British medical researchers recently announced plans to use cutting-edge science to eliminate a condition in my family that we're all familiar with, autism. Actually, they are not curing autism, or even making the life better for autistic people. Their plan is to eliminate autism by eliminating autistic people. There is no uterine test for autism as there is for Down syndrome. Prenatal testing combined with abortion on demand has made people with Down syndrome an endangered population. This utilitarian view of life inevitably leads us exactly where the Nazis were creating a master race. Can't we see it? The logic behind this argument is that the human genetic enhancement perpetuates discrimination against the disabled and the genetically unfit, and that this sort of discrimination is similar to the sort that inspired the eugenistics of the Third Reich. So he is someone who is against it. Technology is not only going to improve and lead others to other developments now that they're doing it now to determine the sex. So they're saying technology moves along, so they're going to keep on improving it. And where should we draw the line? I have another quote from Michael Sandel, and he wrote the book, The Case Against Perfection, The Unethical Idea of Genetic Engineering. If parents are able to remake a child's genetic makeup, they're in a sense writing the genetic instructions that shape their entire life. If my parents gave me blue eyes instead of brown eyes, if they made me tall instead of medium height, if they chose a passive over an aggressive personality, their choices would have a direct, lifelong effect on me. In other words, genetic enhancement is immoral because it artificially molds people's lives, often pointing their destinies in directions that they themselves would not freely choose. Therefore, it represents a fundamental violation of the rights as human beings, by Michael Sandel. So sex selection is one step down from designer children, where they select more than sex. So it's a new spin on the world of what you want, what you can get. You have enough money, you can get everything, and the entitlement that we're already dealing with in this world. But how about designer children versus non-designer children? You know, they have start having these designer children that are beautiful and perfect and smart and the IQs and all this kind of stuff, and then there's the affluent will have that, and then there's the regular children that we love and that we have day to day. So, and plus we're manipulating genes. They're taking the genes and they're lengthening them. Okay, so not only is that a danger, but what about the sex ratios, where there's only one sex preferred, and like especially, but they have that covered too, the proponent, Dr. Najaki in India. She says, because most people won't have the money for it, so everybody won't be able to do it. But it will get cheaper, and more couples will take advantage. Right now, the clinics are swamped to have the male and female that done. Schools are incorporating how to do that into their medical schools. So proponents have their way, will be affordable, and the ratio will be problematic. But there is some light at the end of the tunnel. It's been banned in Australia, France, Germany, Switzerland. There's a lot of countries who have already banned it. They say it's unethical. And it's a powerful tool that's not fully understood how to use. The United States Bioethical Committee, they backed out. They don't say anything about it because, what are they doing disposing of these sexes of the embryos that they don't want? So they haven't said anything about it. They're being quiet. And plus it's encouraging children to be prejudiced. Like you're taught now to love your brother and sister, whether it's a male or female, and love this person no matter what. And, we're trying to teach them the right morals. And now we're picking what kind of child that we want. So we have to distinguish wants during needs. It's a need when we have to use it for the right reasons. For genetic reasons, people can get pregnant, or they have some genetic disease that they don't want passed on in their family. But it is a threat to the core value of parenthood that is expressed by committed, unconditional love for our children to not be the result of our desires. We should love them as they are and not as they want them to be. So a lot of this research was done on pro versus con websites for genetic engineering. And there's a lot of research there, and there's a lot of research on the reproductive websites, and also Dr. Sperm is on there with his thoughts, and so there is a lot on the web to tell you about it, and it's a really interesting topic as to where it's going and what they're, what it's trying to accomplish in the country. There's a lot of people against it. I think natural and loving whatever child you have. If you want a child that badly, one sex that badly, to adopt. So thank you very much for your attention. Eldon, thank you for letting me come.
Yeah.
Dr. Riddick says goodbye, Kathy, and good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Oh, yes, I absolutely do.